Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Exotic Astrology and the Exotic Podcast. So today we are very fortunate to have Vilas Prabhu with us. Welcome to Exotic Astrology and the Exotic Podcast.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
today we will discuss on astrology, free will, and instances from the Ramayana and the Mahabharat. And before I hand over the stage to him, I would like to give a short introduction about him, and you will find all the links of his social media, his website, and Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram in the description section. So please make sure to visit those links and have a look at his work. All right, so let me give a short introduction. So Dr. Shubvilas Prabhu, he combines modern education and ancient wisdom, holding a degree in electronics and telecommunication, intellectual property law, and a PhD in leadership principles from the Ramayan. After an 11-year journey as a monk studying scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita and the Ramayana, he emerged in 2017 on a mission to share Vedic wisdom widely. He, his deep dive into ancient texts has led to a 6 volume series, Ramayana, The Game of Life, making him a prominent author of 40 books that bridge ancient stories within modern life lessons on relationships, leadership, and much more. His storytelling prowess captivates diverse audiences, which we will see in a minute, and making complex wisdom available and accessible and very engaging. So, as a coach, Dr. Shubha Vilas Prabhu delivers seminars worldwide addressing various topics from leadership to stress management, engaging with corporates, especially along with different universities and companies like Google, Microsoft, Princeton, and Stanford also. He leads Tulsi Book Publications and Deja Vedu Edu Training Foundation, focusing on spiritual wisdom and distribution, contributing significantly to community building, especially in Goa. He supports underprivileged children and promotes spirituality and service. He stands out as a modern messenger of Vedic wisdom, adept connecting the ancient with the contemporary through the varied roles. So thank you very much. It's our great pleasure and fortune that we have you with us today. So I I would love to know from you if you could share some insights about astrology and especially this topic, which is very much a part of discussion in social media today, that we have astrology or whichever tradition we belong to, we have something called as destiny, which is like our prarabdha karma or any type of karma, you can name it. And then we have our free will also, which is like very much sought after people these days, like law of attraction, manifestation, and all this. So how do you bridge the gap between the both? And could you share some instances for both of these from the Ramayana and the Mahabharat? So yeah, that would be the starting, I guess.
Thank you very much, first of all, for having me here on this podcast. It is really a pleasure and honor to be here. And very happy to be with all the viewers who are interested in the subject matter of astrology. And hopefully, whatever I share will add more value to whatever you all already know and whatever you're teaching them. In my understanding, free will and destiny are interconnected in a very interesting way. I'll explain with the help of a very simple analogy and a very simple way of putting it. Assume that um, the idea of free will is one box. And um, if I say that whatever I do in my life is based on my free will, like, say, for example, I want to take a flight to Bangalore.
Mhm.
I go to the airport and I buy a ticket and get my boarding pass, do the security, and sit on the flight. So till the point, at each point, I have free will. When I go to the airport, I can decide anyway on the way that I don't want to go to the airport. Once I go to the airport, I can decide I don't want to buy the ticket. Once I buy the ticket, I can decide that I don't want to board the flight. And once I board the flight, then destiny takes over. Then after that, I can't do anything. So I have free will till a particular point,
Correct.
but after a particular point, destiny takes over.
Correct.
So the interesting part about this whole discussion is that free will is not exactly free completely,
Hmm.
because free will is also influenced by something known as the three modes.
Correct.
Like say for example, you are very heavily influenced by the mode of goodness.
Hmm.
Choices you make, which is what free will is, will be based on how that mode of goodness influences you.
Correct.
If you are very heavily in the mode of passion, the choices you make will be based on the mode of passion influencing you. So
Correct.
though it is your free will, but it's not exactly free completely, because the modes are influencing.
Hmm.
Modes that you have are also developed based on some choices that you have made in the past.
Correct.
Which mode you are in depends on what kind of food you eat, depends on what kind of books you read, depends on what kind of movies you watch, depends on what kind of friends you have, depends on what kind of lifestyle you have. So at least five basic things: movies, books, music, friends, and food. These are five things that influence which mode you are in prominently.
Hmm.
And once your mode is decided, then your free will is influenced by that mode. And once you make a choice, like say for example in this analogy I was saying that you climb into the flight and the flight doors close, and then you decide, no, no, I didn't want to go to Bangalore, I want to go to Delhi. Sorry, you can't do anything now. Destiny takes over. You will land in
Correct.
land in Bangalore. Of course, in the flight, if you do some really naughty things, then when you land, then there's another consequence waiting for you. Isn't
Correct.
it? So that's the way these two things are interconnected. So to some extent, I have free will, which is influenced by the modes. But beyond a certain point, once I make that choice, then destiny takes over.
Okay. Okay.
In the Mahabharat, we find the this paradox of free will and destiny is very powerfully there in so many episodes in the Mahabharat. The entire Mahabharat itself talks about the power of destiny and free will. There are choices that were made. Like, for example, the crux of the Mahabharat is in the gambling match.
Hmm.
In that Asat Sabha, which is called, there are some choices that everyone made. And
Hmm.
everyone who made a particular choice made the choice based on which mode they were in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Duryodhan made a choice based on what mode he was in.
Yes.
Karna, Karna was the one who told Duryodhan to call Draupadi down there.
Yeah.
So he made a choice based on which mode he was in. Shakuni
Hmm.
made a choice of tampering on the dice in so many ways. He based on which mode he was in. Yudhishthir made a choice.
Hmm.
Why he chose to play in the gambling match? Simply because he had taken a vow that he
Yeah.
will never say no to whatever the elders say.
Correct.
Now, while by itself that vow is great, that you should always obey the elders, but it's a stupid vow in one sense, because you can't make a blanket statement like that.
Yes.
You can't, because whatever the elders say, I'll follow. What if they're saying the wrong thing?
Yes. Correct.
Right. So Yudhishthir made some choices, and based on his choices, there was a destiny waiting for him.
Hmm.
Whatever choice he made, there are many people that have to suffer the consequence of that choice also.
Correct.
All the brothers, they suffered the consequences of his choice.
Correct.
So that the way I understand it is, astrology, to some extent, helps you understand what your nature is,
Hmm.
but it doesn't prepare you completely for all the choices that you make in life. You are responsible for them.
Hmm.
Astrology is like a weather prediction map.
Hmm.
The weather prediction system will tell you it will rain or it may rain,
Correct.
but it will never tell you take an umbrella along with you. You have to decide how you want to prepare for that, isn't it?
Okay.
So astrology is like it gives you a hint. Like for example, in the Mahabharat, the moment they stepped in to the Asat Sabha, to that particular gambling arena, the moment the Pandavas put their foot in, immediately Sahadev said, "I don't think we should enter here."
Okay.
Sahadev was an astrologer. He was a very, very powerful astrologer. He had strong intuitions. He knew something is going to go wrong there.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
But as most astrologers are trained, they don't tell the future exactly. They'll give
Hmm.
you a hint of the future. This may happen.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, nobody knows the future completely, right?
Yes.
Astrology just gives you a hint of what can happen, basically.
Okay.
So Sahadev told Yudhishthir, let's not enter here. I feel something is going to go wrong. But Yudhishthir still entered. So, astrology just prepares you, that this may happen. But then the choice that you make is your choice.
Hmm.
Then, based on the choices, there is a destiny waiting for you.
Okay. So basically, what you are saying is we have our destiny, which we can kind of see from astrology. We get idea, and then based on our activities, our inclinations, we can access our free will, which is again not completely free because that also depends on the gunas, the modes which we are involved with by our activities. So then the question is, if somebody says like many times people when they go to an astrologer, they say, oh, the astrologer may say, oh, you have Shani Dasha, Rahu Dasha, or whatever, Sare Sati, whatever, some transit or anything specific to the technical details. Something is causing trouble to you or that's giving you problems. So then the question is, can that person actually, what should the attitude be for that person? It's like it's just there, or I can't do anything, or I can change it. So what is the right attitude in your opinion?
So, when you come to know that you are facing some kind of obstacle due to the grahas, due to your, the position of the planets in your houses, etc., you know that there are obstacles waiting for you.
Correct.
Astrology also gives you remedies of what you can do to undo those obstacles.
Hmm.
Interesting part of Vedic sciences is that the Vedic science not only tells you the problem, but it also gives you solutions.
Hmm. Okay.
The way the universe works, it works in a harmonious way. And because it works in a harmonious way, the idea is the universe is designed by God in a way to help human beings perfect their lives, complete
Yes.
their journeys and perfect their lives. That's the way the society, the world is organized.
Yes.
And God doesn't make our life very difficult. There
Hmm.
are obstacles that come, but God also provides options, paths, guidance in so many ways.
Hmm.
Why? Because He's our Father, He's
Hmm.
our Mother, He's concerned about us.
Yes.
Therefore, He provides solutions through the in the form of sages, in the form of astrological treatises, books. So many varieties of astrological options available. Is all given by great sages who
Correct.
are there for our welfare.
Hmm.
So now it is up to us whether we want to take guidance from these or not.
Hmm. Correct.
Whether you take guidance from the sages or not, your life will still continue.
Correct.
It's just that when you take good guidance from people who are knowledgeable, people who have studied these scriptures very deeply, and who live life based on these scriptures, you get some new options. It's like you're trying to find a door, or you're trying to find a path to achieve success in your life, but somewhere on the path there are some hidden doors that you miss.
Okay.
If you just take this hidden door, you might find success more quickly.
Oh, I
But
see.
we are so blinded by our own perception of what success means and what path to follow, we don't see the possibility of hidden doors.
Okay.
This is what the Bhagavatam calls as Pasyanapina Pashyati. A person can see and yet not see. Okay? So there are things that we see, but still we don't get it.
Hmm.
And that's where sciences like astrology and Vastu and all of these come in. And they just tell you, see, do this.
Hmm.
Now it's up to you whether you want to do it or not, because it's based on your faith.
Hmm.
The Vedic culture is designed to make your life so peaceful so that you can focus on your spiritual path, so that you can focus
Okay.
on the higher aspects of life. If
Okay.
you're so bogged down by the small, petty things in life, how will you have time and energy left to focus on higher aspects of life?
Hmm.
Therefore, there are
Okay.
hints thrown all over the Vedic scriptures to make your life a little better, to deal with the little obstacles that come in your life. So that the purpose is so that you can focus on something higher, basically, and not get stuck by these small, tiny things. For those who don't want to look at these sciences and don't care for these sciences and don't think that these sciences are so important, they're just so busy in their own ways of sorting out things, they ignore them.
Okay.
So I feel that sensible people who are truly knowledgeable and who are humble, they take good guidance whenever the need is there.
Hmm. And also, nowadays, many people, especially in the last 10, 15 years, I've seen, and you might have also seen many people, they're interested in like yoga, meditation, spirituality, and all this. May not be like very significantly, but they do like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. Some practices regularly, many people. So many times people who enter into some spiritual path, whichever path it is, they have this conception that, oh, now I have entered, so my karma is like what whitewashed. Okay, of course not like completely, but to the degree they are sincere. So then there is this astrology part, which is like your prarabdha, which is the chart, which shows, when you can have good things, when you can have troubles in life. So what is your experience in this? Like when somebody starts doing some spiritual practices, and let's assume the person is doing the right thing and in a serious way, then what have you seen in this regard?
Any traditional astrologer who is really studied astrology well, if he or she gets to know that you are a Krishna devotee,
Hmm.
before they start your astrological reading, they tell you, I am giving you a prediction based on my study, but because you are a devotee of Krishna, I know that nothing of these can or will happen. It can go in completely different direction because
Okay.
Krishna he's in charge of all the grahas basically.
Correct,
He,
correct,
so he is the boss.
correct.
So if the boss wants, anything can change basically.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
like it's like for example, if you are if you go to if Tata owns a huge factory, and there are certain parking places to park
yeah,
cars.
yes,
Right? Tata wants he can park the car anywhere, isn't it? He
yeah,
can
yeah,
park the car in the lobby of the factory of
yes,
the building. Who cares? It's his building, isn't it?
correct.
So there are laws. There are laws that are very very um, um, certain, very very predictive laws that exist in the world. But these laws are created by Krishna.
Hmm.
Because he is the lawmaker, he can change the laws if he wants. He can make exceptions if he wants. And that's what the idea of devotion, bhakti is all about, right?
Okay,
Obviously, you don't expect it to happen to you
correct, correct, correct.
unless and until you are a pure devotee of the Lord.
Hmm.
Now, just because I start chanting, just because I start practicing spiritual life, it doesn't mean that tomorrow I get relief from all the laws of this world.
Correct, correct.
Who are you? Are you so qualified? Are you so
Yes.
important that you will get relief from all the laws of this world? What
Yeah.
have you to deserve that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, if I feel that I deserve it, that simply means you don't deserve it.
Okay. If you feel
Someone who really deserves it
doesn't.
doesn't feel they deserve it,
Okay.
isn't it? So those who are great devotees of the Lord, they feel that they are very much unqualified to
Mhm.
receive such exceptions. And they always follow the laws of Krishna. The laws
Yes.
of this world. They always follow the laws, though they are exempted from all laws.
Hmm. Okay. Even though they're exempted, they still follow.
100%. You know?
They don't have this entitlement that, oh, this does not apply. And if you have entitlement, then you don't have it. You are still inside the laws.
That's what it means. In fact, Krishna says in the Gita that, Namam karmani limpanti. He says, the
Yeah.
laws of karma don't affect me at all.
Yes.
But still, he lives by those laws. To set
Oh,
an
okay.
example for the world, right? Similarly, pure devotees of the Lord, they are not affected by laws of karma. But still, they live by the laws simply to set an example for the world.
And also regarding this, I have an interesting question for you. Like in India, especially, many people have this misconception that they say, "Oh, Lord Ram, he suffered in life." I mean, Krishna also to a large extent, but specifically Bhagwan Ram. And they say, "Oh, look, law of karma is supreme. It's beyond everything. See, Ram is also under this. Who are we?" So, what do you say to somebody who says like this?
Lord Ram and Krishna, they appeared in this world. So these are the only two incarnations that lived complete lives in this
Oh,
world.
okay, okay.
Right? Most of the incarnations came for short durations of time. Narasimhadev came for a few hours, literally.
Yeah, yeah.
Varaha came for a short duration. Matsya came for a short duration of time. And the only two personalities who lived complete lives were Krishna and Ram. And and more specifically Ram, because Krishna also came as a Purna avatar. He came as
Ah,
a complete manifestation. So he came. His reason of coming is known as Anubhav Pradhan. He came to show the world an experience of the spiritual world. He didn't come here to
okay,
show what it means to be a good human being. But the
okay.
purpose of Rama Avatar is to show the world what it means to be a good human being.
Correct, correct.
And just like every human being goes through ups and downs in their lives,
Yeah.
Ram went through ups and downs in his own life. And just like Ram, when he went through the ups and downs in his personal life, he still lived with dignity,
Hmm.
lived with, lived in a way that upheld the human aspect. That
Okay.
shows that actually teaches us that we all, no matter what we go through in our lives, no matter what we experience in our life, we still have to live based on some higher thoughts and higher principles. Like say, for example, Ram lost his wife Sita.
Correct.
Ravan killed her. For 10 months. He had to search for her. Couldn't
Hmm.
find her. 10 months, literally. 4 months of the rainy season, he was sitting in a cave waiting for the rains to
Yeah.
get over.
Yes.
So Ram is God. He can stop the rains. He can postpone the rains by a month easily, isn't it? But
Yeah.
he did that. He allowed the rains to fall for 4 months, and he waited patiently for 4 months to tell us that not all problems in life have an immediate solution.
Okay.
Most problems in life, you have to wait.
Hmm.
You have to tolerate.
And regarding Lord Ram, also we see when Dashrath Maharaj told that, when Keikei said that you have to go to the forest for 14 years. So, and on the contrary, when Sita Devi was kidnapped, so that time we can see this, that when his mother tells him that go to the forest, then he does not say this is injustice, I will fight. But when his wife is kidnapped, then he goes to fight. So he's putting the duty above destiny, I guess. This is what he shows.
In fact, Ram speaks about this to Lakshman.
Yes.
Ram tells Lakshman a very interesting thing about destiny. So Lakshman is not ready to let Ram go to the forest. In fact, he
Yeah.
says that we should fight this injustice.
Yeah.
So Lakshman
Yes.
uses these words. He in fact tells, "I will go and kill my father." He was like so upset with Dasharath Maharaj. Ram tells him something very interesting. Ram tells him, when you see something is happening and there is no logic behind it, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Know that there is some higher power behind this. And the
Okay.
example that he gives, he says, Kaikai, have you ever seen Kaikai finding faults in me?
Okay.
Have
Never.
you
Okay.
ever seen Kaikai not loving me? And
Hmm.
if you find a woman who has been so loving, so much In fact, Kaikeyi loves me more than her own son Bharat.
Yeah.
So Ram says, how do you explain the fact that someone who loves you so much has completely changed in a few moments? How
Mm.
do you explain this other than destiny?
Okay.
So Ram actually tells this to Lakshman that when you come across a situation where logically it doesn't make any sense, it
Yeah.
is logically consistent with Kaikeyi's character, but
Mm.
you still find that person behaving in a particular way, you should know it is not only her behavior, it is influenced by Kala. It is influenced by the time factor. It is influenced by destiny.
Okay. So,
So some people suddenly change their behavior towards us, right?
yeah.
So I was trying to say that if you don't understand why it is happening, you should know that there are some higher powers in work behind this.
Okay. And you have specifically written a lot of books on the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So, in your opinion, as a person who is living in the 21st century, especially maybe in the cities or even in towns or villages in India or anywhere a part of the world, what are some very important, maybe in your opinion, I would say top three lessons from the Ramayana and from the Mahabharata, which they can take in the modern day life in a corporate setting or even if they are having their own business, and how do you think that they can be benefited by these sutras?
The three most important lessons that I would say from the Ramayana are: first, what it means to be a good human being. So
Hmm.
where Ram is putting humanity above divinity, literally, you know.
Okay.
So we all are in the path of finding spiritual truths. We're trying to find spiritual purpose, and we're trying to find something spiritual in our lives. But Ram is trying to tell us he is the most divine person. He is God Himself.
Yeah.
But when He comes down in this world, He wants to tell us first be a human being. First be a good human being, and
Yeah.
then you look for being a good spiritual person, basically.
Hmm.
See, the point is that most people, in the pursuit of spirituality, they forget humanity.
Hmm.
So we sometimes have the most spiritual people behaving most insensitively,
Correct. Correct.
very highly evolved spiritual person in terms of practice,
Hmm.
but very, very ruthless and unkind towards
Yeah.
other fellow human beings,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So, how can someone do this? So, Ram is trying to show by his entire life that um, try first to be an ideal human being. So, that's the first lesson that I would say that Ramayana is trying to teach us.
Hmm.
The second thing Ramayana is trying to teach us is learn to look at everyone and see good in everyone.
Hmm. Interesting.
Ram literally saw good in every human being, every, not just human beings, even animals.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Manara in the forest, Jatayu, a bird, a vulture. He saw in dwellers in the forest. He
Hmm.
saw Rakshasas
Yes.
among, so in a country filled with demons who were totally outright demonic. Ram identified Vibhishan's goodness. In
Yes.
fact, even within Ravan, Ram saw something good. Like
Yeah.
when Ram died, Vibhishan was not ready to coronate him. Sorry, not ready to cremate him. He said, I won't even touch my brother's body because he has done so much sin.
Yes.
But Ram, he had a very interesting take on this. He told Vibhishan, whatever it is, after death, there is no sin that remains. He said,
Okay.
all the bad that Ravan has done is gone with his death.
Okay. I see.
Now I want you to focus on him being your brother and cremate him, give him the honor of a powerful king being cremated.
Okay.
Now, Ravan was somebody who had done so much bad to Ram, isn't it?
Correct.
Now, it is obviously someone that makes you suffer so badly for 10 months. You feel very happy when that person dies.
Yes. Yes.
And you feel very happy when that person is suffering, isn't it?
Correct.
But here is Ram. who has suffered intensely because of Ravan. But when Ravan dies, Ram talks about respecting his body, giving him the honor that he deserves as a king. Now, who does that today, isn't it? Who
Yeah.
does- So I find this very interesting that Ram has the ability to take good even from the bad.
Mm.
So this is a second very, very powerful lesson that I feel the Ramayana is trying to teach us. And the third thing the Ramayana tries to teach us is respect everyone.
Mm.
So in the entire journey of Ram, it is amazing that every single person that Ram met in the forest or even in Ayodhya, throughout the journey, Ram always respected them. There was a particular way of dealing which was very respectful. I'll tell you something very small that you will understand. When Sita met Hanumanji, and when Sita met Ravan, and Ravan was warning her that he was giving her a 2 months notice, otherwise he will kill her and all that. He was giving her all kinds of warnings. At that point in time, Sita tells Ravan something amazing. Sita talks to him about the power of Ram, and she tells him how powerful Ram is.
Mhm.
And then she tells him, my advice to you is please hold the hand of Ram. She
Okay.
doesn't tell him follow the feet of Ram.
Oh, I see.
And the
Okay.
Acharyas give an amazing commentary on this. They
Okay.
say, why does Sita tell Ravan to hold Ram's hand and not fall at Ram's feet?
Oh.
Because Sita is thinking from Ram's point of view. She's thinking, what if Ravan actually takes my advice and goes to Ram and falls at his feet?
Okay.
Ram will feel very bad because Ravan is a king after all.
Okay.
So here is one king that is coming to take shelter of another king. The ideal way is that when two kings, even if one king is more powerful than the other, the, the more powerful king has to still respect the less powerful king because he's a king.
Okay. Yes. Always. Yes.
So if Ravan falls to the feet of Ram and Ram asks him, who told you to fall at my feet? And Ravan says, Sita told me, Ram will get very upset on Sita. Why is she telling him? And therefore Sita tells Ravan, hold Ram's hand.
Okay.
Imagine that. Here is Ram, who even from a point of view of Ravan, he's respecting him. Sugriv is a monkey. He's a Vanar living in the forest, and Ram is a prince of Ayodhya. So much difference in aristocracy and eliteness, and so many other things. But yet, when Ram meets Sugriv, Sugriv extends his hand to shake Ram's hand.
Hmm.
Now, Sugriv doesn't even know how to behave in front of someone who is superior to him. But Ram, he does not look at that.
Hmm.
He holds his hand, rather, he pulls him and embraces Sugriv, showing
Okay.
Ram respects everyone, no matter who you are, no matter what your status is, no matter what your situation of life is. Ram will always respect you for whatever you are, for whoever you are. And I find that to be something very profound that Ramayana teaches us. So I think these are three very, very powerful lessons that we can derive from the Ramayana. Should I tell three lessons from the Mahabharata also
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this?
Yes. 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 Why
Okay.
not?
So I think the three most powerful lessons from the Mahabharata are: first is when you have God on your side, nothing else matters. So when Arjun had to make a choice between choosing Krishna or Krishna's army,
Yeah.
but Duryodhana was really scared that Arjun might choose the army of Krishna. The army of Krishna was not an ordinary army. It was a
Yes.
Narayani saint, which was the most powerful army of that time. Probably today's Israeli army or something like that, which is like
Yeah.
really, really powerful armies, American forces or Indian army, something like that, which is
Yeah.
like one of the most sophisticated armies of that time. And um, instead of choosing an army, Arjun chose Krishna without weapons, and
Hmm.
Krishna will not fight the war. And I think the Mahabharata really aptly puts this.
Yeah.
You choose God, it is not that you will win. Choosing God is victory.
Okay. Excellent.
Not that by choosing God you will get victory.
Okay.
Choosing God is victory.
You have won already.
Exactly. And what is the meaning of choosing Krishna? Choosing Krishna, symbolically in the Mahabharata, it means choosing righteousness, choosing higher
Okay.
principles, choosing dharma, choosing a higher consciousness over a selfish, self-centered consciousness. So that's what choosing Krishna really means. So I find that this is one of the most powerful lessons the Mahabharata is trying to teach us. The second thing the Mahabharata is teaching us is hard work gives you much more than cheating. So when you try to cheat someone and become so, and there are many people today who try to get shortcuts to success.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
The entire trading industry today, there are so many wrong ways of getting into the stock market and trading. There are so many wrong ways of growing in power, growing in business. Now, apparently, when someone is cheating, when someone is using foul means to grow, apparently it seems that person is successful.
Mm.
Apparently, that person seems to get success.
Yeah.
But the question is, can you retain success?
Okay. Okay.
Getting success is one thing, and retaining success is something else.
Yes. Yes.
There are many people who are able to get success, but someone who has character can retain success.
Beautiful.
And the
Beautiful.
Mahabharata really makes this powerful statement through the Pandavas' lives, where they didn't cheat, they didn't use foul means. The Kauravas used all kind of foul means and all kinds of cheating to get an upper hand.
Correct.
The Kauravas, on the other hand, worked hard. They worked diligently. They really struggled, even with the basic needs of life not being met.
Correct.
But eventually, they got success, and they got success that lasted for a
Mm.
long time. Not only with themselves, for generations to come. The golden era of the Pandavas created lasted for like many, many centuries together. And that's the power of success that is gained through hard work. And the third thing the Mahabharata teaches us is um, there are two types of people that come into your lives. There are some people that come into your life with their own agendas.
Yeah.
That means they are not coming for you,
Yeah.
they're coming to use you.
Correct.
And these kind of friendships that are filled with people that have come to use you and you know really take advantage of you, they are friendships that are so superficial. In the Mahabharata, we find the friendship between Karna and Duryodhana
Yeah.
at such a superficial level of friendship. Whenever Duryodhana wanted Karna, Karna was missing because he was in his own ego trips. You know, just before the Mahabharat war, Bhishma called Karna an Ardharathi, and Karna was so upset and so disturbed that he walked out and he said, "I will not fight as long as Bhishma is alive." Imagine 18 days of war. Duryodhan took up the entire war on the confidence that Karna is with me. And
Yeah.
this didn't fight the war for 10 days out of the 18 days because of an ego trip.
Yeah.
Now, it very clearly shows that his ego was more important than his friendship.
Mm.
Duryodhan was fighting with a group of such people. Each of them had their own agenda. Each of them had their own selfish interest in the war. Karna had this. The only reason Karna fought was to kill Arjun. The Bhishma had some other affection for the Pandavas. He was in another trip only.
Yeah.
Drona was fighting only because his son Ashwatthama was stuck over there. And
Yeah.
Ashwatthama himself was fighting because he hated, Arjun, and each one of them had different agendas for which they were together.
Okay.
Like a pack of people staying together, but there is no common thread. Each one of them stood for themselves, and when their work got done, they disappeared. But
Mm.
on the other hand, Pandavas, whoever joined them, they saw that these people represented dharma.
Yeah.
People
Correct.
had a higher purpose in life, and they were united by Krishna. So now here was a set of people that were individually very powerful, but collectively very weak
Mm.
because they were not together for a powerful purpose. Each one came for a selfish agenda, like it's like enemy's enemy is your friend.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
Enemy be your friend. Enemy is not your friend at all. He's
Yeah.
there as long as for a particular purpose only. But
Correct.
on the other hand, the Pandavas, the people they gathered together, they were such powerful people individually, but collectively they became an even more powerful force.
Mm.
Though they were less in number, they were greater in confidence.
Correct.
And therefore, the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna and Arjuna and all the Pandavas blow their conch shells, Duryodhana is scared, though he has a bigger army.
Yes. Yes.
That fear is simply the fear of having done something wrong.
Okay.
The
Okay.
fear that I have done something wrong. Inside your heart, you know exactly, who's right and who's wrong. And that fear doesn't allow you to sleep. But when you're doing the right thing and when you're having the right purpose, you can sleep very peacefully at night. So this is the third thing the Mahabharata teaches us.
And when you were discussing like this third point from the Mahabharata, then one last counter question comes to my mind is uh, we see in the life prominently of Yudhishthir Maharaj, we see also in Lord Ram's example. But in case of Yudhishthir Maharaj, more like as a human, we see that although Dhritarashtra had done like so many wrong things, he was mum when the gambling match was going on, when Draupadi was insulted. But then later on, when he became the king, he would wash Dhritarashtra's feet always. Now, of course, he's very great. He's known as Dharmaraj. He's Yamaraj himself. But at our level, as we hear that God gives us challenges as per our level. So when something bad happens to us at a personal level, so for example, when somebody does something bad to us or tries to spread some false news against us, tries to defame us or harm us, either in the face or by hiding somewhere. So then, how do we forgive them at our level? That seems to be very difficult.
Yeah. So, first of all, we should not allow anyone to exploit us.
Okay.
We should not allow anyone to hurt us. We should try our best to protect ourselves as
Okay.
much as it's not that if somebody is bad and they want to do something bad to us, we just allow them to do it. No, we do not allow exploitation to happen. We do not allow any kind of abuse to happen to us. We protect ourselves. But
Correct.
at the same time, we should know that beyond a certain level, there are some things that are not in our hands.
Correct.
Others' behaviors is not in our hands.
Correct.
So at best, what you can do is you can avoid them.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
try to avoid them. Try to stay away from such people. Krishna uses the word sauchyam in the Bhagavad Gita. The word
Yes.
sauchyam means cleanliness.
Yes.
He describes it as one of the items of knowledge. What is the meaning of cleanliness as being one of the items of knowledge? So, cleanliness here refers to not only external cleanliness, but it also refers to cleanliness of thoughts.
Okay.
There are some people who come into our lives to bring in negative thoughts,
Correct.
bring in a lot of negativity into our lives.
Okay.
So, whenever you come across someone who is bringing in negative thoughts in your life, naturally what happens is that our mind becomes very muddy and very
Yes.
with these negative thoughts. And whenever you come across such people who are trying to fill your mind with negativity, stay away as much as possible.
Okay.
Just like shallow ponds are always more muddier than very huge deep ponds. isn't it?
Correct, correct, correct.
Because there is so much shallowness, there's so much mud right below.
Uh,
Similarly, when we have shallow mindsets, which all these kind of negative, people have, naturally that will affect us, and it will also create a lot of negativity in our own minds. It is
okay,
therefore very advisable to avoid such people as much as you can, and also not allow them to exploit you, not allow them to take advantage of you.
okay. And when we like try our best, and even after that they are doing, then we should try our best to protect ourselves.
100%, 100%.
Hmm, okay.
Because you are responsible for your own body and mind.
Hmm, okay.
You're responsible for the cleanliness of our body and mind. You're responsible for keeping our body and mind in a peaceful state so that you can focus on higher things in life. And when there are people who come into our lives, like Kalidas gives a very beautiful example. He says, Kaikai's mind was like a shallow pond,
Okay.
and Manthara entered into the shallow pond like a buffalo. When a
Yeah,
buffalo enters into a shallow pond, what happens? All the mud comes up, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, okay.
And therefore, all the dirt came up, and her mind became completely polluted.
Okay. So in
Don't
this,
allow the
like, I get a quick thing regarding Kekai. Like, so when you say like this buffalo thing, so of course we know she always loved Lord Ram, and she was influenced by mantra, and there is the divine angle, of course, but at a human level, like, do you see it anywhere else in the Ramayana that there was some tinge of like animosity towards Lord Ram before that particular incident, or like was it completely a divine thing?
see from first of all, when you are analyzing at a human angle, human level, do not bring the divine element at all in it.
Okay,
Just look at it only at a human level.
okay,
At a human level, if you are going to associate with mantra for a long period of time, you will get affected.
okay, indeed, yes, yes.
Therefore, stay away from mantras.
Okay, okay, great. Thank you so much for all the amazing answers that you have shared. I mean, I could go on talking to you for hours on the Ramayana and the Mahabharat. But yes, we'll have you back again by your free will. And whoever has viewed this video till the end, please go and check out all the books and his website specifically. I will pin it down in the description section. If you have any questions, queries, or comments, you will also find his email, and he has some amazing courses in his website. I saw some Hanuman Chalisa course also. I was inspired by that. So if you are a viewer of Ramayana and you are a devotee of Hanumanji, then well, yes, you can always see that course. And yes, please see all the social media links. He is very active in social media, and I saw you are also a TED speaker. Are you going somewhere in the near future? I saw some photo.
I just spoke last week in a TEDx event in I am Raipur.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so one last request from the viewers. Please share your blessings to Prabhuji, and please also let us know down in the comments what would you like to see in the part two of this session. I would be very eager to see your comments. All right. Thank you so much. I will now stop the recording. Thank you.